Me and my dad are self-converting this Dodge ProMaster to be completely livable in, and I'm documenting the whole process to show you that you don't need a super skill set to do exactly what we're doing.
That's for damn sure.
And that's for damn sure. And today we are installing Thinsulate in our camper van to insulate our van. And we ordered ours from Van Life Outfitters. This is not sponsored in any way, but they provide a lot of the stuff that we need for this. So I will give you a price breakdown right now. I spent $833 on everything. And we also got the Low-E. So that is another layer we will put in on top of that after we add in the furring strips, which will be in another video. It's moisture resistant, it won't mold, it doesn't stink. Easy to install, you don't need gloves, it's not the itchy kind. It provides sound deadening, and the list goes on. It's non-flammable. The only downside that I know of is that it's really expensive. But I'm done yapping, so let's get into the products and tools required for this install. So here's everything you're gonna need for this install. Here is our Thinsulate, 55 linear square feet, right inside this box. We have 3 cans of high strength 90 adhesive spray. We have this stealthy tool, I don't know what it's called, but the garden bender. This is what we're gonna use to attach to the Thinsulate to get it in those small holes that are hard to get. So we have our tape measure, pencil, mask for when we spray that stuff, scissors to cut it, and that's really all you need for this install. And also we have our, what's this called? The Low-E, and the tapes inside of there as well. All right, so now we are going to measure all of these. Each panel is going to be a certain size to fit the insulation. So we're going to measure the length and the width of every single panel, and we're going to number them. It's just super easy. All of these. So I think this whole row is going to be 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And obviously, yeah, wheel wells. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the box. So it comes with 5 different vacuum sealed bags, and one of them has the number 15 on it because there is 15 linear feet, and then there's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. We are going to mark, measure, and cut our Thinsulate. So here's the scissors, measuring tape, and I forgot to mention we have a little crayon. 11 inches right here. All right, here's our first piece up here. It actually fits super perfect, but we're not going to spray it in. We're actually going to cut all of them out first and make sure they all fit, and then we're going to do the spraying part. Also, something I advise you guys to do is number each one and have the dimensions already ready. Progress is going good. All right, so we've just been taping up the spots that we've been cutting out. So we got all these so far, and we've got our last set. We're taking this little chalk pen thingy, and we're going along the whole thing and just measuring it all out. So now we have marked all the different quadrants. So we got these 2 are gonna go right here and right here. These 2 right here are gonna go right here and right here. And then the last one is gonna go right there and right there. And then whatever's left over, we're gonna use on these 2 panels. So this one, and then also in the door. All right, so now we're gonna use this plastic tool, or we have another one just in case. We're gonna take the headliner down, put some Thinsulate in there. Just gotta wiggle it around in there.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So I guess you also gotta take this foam.
Look at the video.
Method is pulling it up from the bottom, pulling it out.
Oh, it's just a pressure fit.
Just like that.
Okay.
All right.
I'm 90 in there.
If you have the same van as us, obviously you're gonna have this light here. All you gotta do is put your hand back here and just pop it out, and then disconnect this electrical plug, because when we put insulation up here, we're gonna be covering this anyway. And I also removed this one. So the rear door and then passenger side. All right, so for the one that goes over our max air vent, we made some measurements. So it is 17 by 17, and right here we have 5 inches and 4.5 inches away from the edge. So we got our exact hole cut out. So once we cut it out and put it up, flip up, and once we put it in, it's gonna fit perfectly. So like every install, there's always gonna be something that doesn't work out or is weird with your van. So here's ours. Just about every time we go in our van, we find a little leaking spot, so a puddle, small puddle of water, and we never knew why, but today we just found out, and there's this crack seal on the back of our van. So there's the front, here's the back, and there's this cracked seal that goes all the way along here. And my dad just a minute ago was pouring water on the top to figure out where it was coming from, and it starts to drip down from right here. So if you guys are experiencing this problem, maybe this seal got cracked for you. If you push on it, you can see some air bubbles come out, but I'm not seeing it now. Lap sealant, self-leveling. So everything we used on the AC and the max air fan we're gonna be using. There we go. All sealed, and now we're gonna let it dry and actually do our insulation this time. All right, so you're probably wondering how to do these ribs up here, on the sides, right here. So once you cut out your strips, you've measured it. I believe this is 3 inches in here, and then I don't know how long, but you'll measure all your stuff. But the items you're gonna need are zip ties, garden bender, and then your strip. So you're gonna pull out your strip. Ours is a little flimsy because we've already done all our ribs but this one. But what you're gonna wanna do is put this through the side, you wanna pull it out. So take one end of the fishing line and put it all the way through. Just keep stretching it all the way through. Look at it. It's at the end right there. So once you get the end, I'll just stick the fishing line thing down, and then I'm gonna take it, pull it out, and it doesn't matter which way you face it, touching the van or outside, but I like the white part to touch the metal, so I will, this is how it's gonna be pulled up, like this. So I will put the zip tie through it, and then put the white part facing this way. Pull the zip tie and lock it in pretty tight so it doesn't pull through. So now you're gonna take this side and either reel it in, but I noticed that doesn't really work very well because it's kind of heavy. But I will take this end and I will just shove it in there a little bit and kind of aid it in going up there. Also, the smaller zip ties work a little bit better. They fit in the smaller spots, but on this side, I'll just pull it down. It's probably going to break this tool a little bit, but I just pull it. And you don't want to pull too hard or else you're going to break the zip tie and then you got to start all over. But you just want to aid it and pull it in there, tug it a little bit, and just aid it going in there. And this tool is actually made for running wires, but we realized it works really nice for this. I mean, I got all the ribs in with this tool. It's definitely all curled up and probably a little broken, but it still does the job. So it works so well. You'll stuff this last end in here, just like that. Sometimes some of the holes, you can't get this feed through, so you just have to break the zip tie with it in there. So, but this, you don't have to. And then right now, you just cut it. Some of them I lost the zip tie in there, so it doesn't really matter, but. All right, so now it is time to actually do the installation. So we have all of our cutouts right here, sitting here. I have them all numbered 1 through whatever. I still need to put this one in and that one in, but we were fixing a leak. We need to get a couple things in set before we begin installation. So we need to first put this stuff on all the windows just to cover them up, and we're gonna cover up the cab area, probably put a tarp, but just so we don't get any of that adhesive on the windows and such. So we are going to be spraying each panel. So this stuff we are going to be spraying. I believe you do it upside down. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I will show you. You're gonna want a mask to protect you because this stuff is highly toxic. Anyway, now that we have this, I'll link everything that we are using down below. Safety glasses, gloves. Make sure it doesn't get in there. No, this is perfect. When you buy your Thinsulate, it's gonna come in these little packs. Just go ahead and cover your seats with this stuff. Okay. All right, so we are going to be using 3 cans hopefully, but I got 1 right now. Forget the gloves. All right, so you're gonna spray this side and then wait 30 seconds, and you're gonna do the same thing on your piece of Thinsulate. So we're gonna spray that and then wait 30 seconds. So now you're gonna repeat that whole process everywhere around the van.
about to take a leak.
I forgot to show you guys all of the leftovers, so here's some that we have left. We honestly have so much left, but I just shoved a bunch in there that wasn't there, bunch up in here, bunch over here, but we had a lot, considerably a lot left. So 55 linear square feet is more than enough. I mean, look at all this extra, just random size chunks everywhere, plus what we just put in, the ribs and whatnot. But all right, so now that we completed everything, that's really all there is to it. There's not much. I mean, it's just spray, make sure it's sticky, put it on. We didn't even make sure it was sticky. We kind of just waited 10-15 seconds and then just put it up there. Another thing I'd suggest is do not buy the inverted can. So basically, definitely do not buy the inverted, because when we went to do the ceiling, I mean, you can only imagine how difficult that was. The sound in here is completely different. Woo! Almost completely echo free, so that's cool. If you need help with anything, just drop something in the comments, and I will try and help you out. It's crazy, it's done. Now, time for furring strips. So I'll see you guys in the next video.